Okay, just gonna make a quick video about my approach to the grind mentality. Do I think it works? How important is it? It's a very popular thing at the moment, the idea of grinding out for success. And it's easy to see why, because I think it's probably the state where life is most exciting, most exciting, it's very painful, but in a way it's kind of what life's all about, so it's easy to see why this grind mentality appeals to every, people, not just people who are very disciplined, but it appeals to people who are maybe don't really live by it so much as a life they want to live by, right? But I think if you're just getting started in sorting your life out and working to improve yourself, whether that be in a career, with physical fitness, a certain skill you want to learn, I really do believe that the grind will just, if you focus too much on grinding it out, you're just going to wear yourself out and you're not going to reach the goal. Because what happens is, everyone's got that thing where at 3 o'clock in the morning they suddenly get a massive hit of motivation to get fit. So they'll mash out 100 press-ups in one go. And that will be, because in that moment they have the motivation just to really grind something out. And they're, it depends how strong that you are, but for most people, if you bash out 500, 100 push-ups in one sitting, then you're demonstrating quite a big degree of discipline in that moment, or maybe not discipline, but you're it's quite impressive, is what I'm getting at. The problem for me is, in the grand scheme of things, whether you did that or not, whether you decided to do those press-ups or not, doesn't make fuck all of difference. If you're not doing the same thing the next day, if you're not doing it again the next day, or you're doing something to further that goal the following day. And so that's the problem. You have to be consistent as well as discipline, right? Well, this is kind of, you think it's kind of obvious. So my recommendation for people who my recommendation is more to just focus on doing a small amount every day. So in the summer I did this, I would just do I would do one press up every day. And I'm not the kind of guy where one press up is some people that's actually quite a lot. But for me, it's not very much. It sounds like I'm showing off by saying that, but you get what I mean. It was very low. It didn't take any physical exertion to do it. But the thing I was training myself to do was not to. It wasn't the press up itself that mattered. It was getting myself into the habit of doing it every day. Because even if it's only one press up, there's still going to be a bit of you that can't really be bothered to do it. But if you make yourself do it, even if it's only one, then that's great, and then you'll get in the habit of doing it, and then you'll start wanting to do it. And the other thing is, once you've done one, you think, well, I've done one now, I might as well bash out 10, and then you're a bit exhausted after 10. You're like, fuck it, I'm gonna give myself a rest for 2 minutes and then reload it again, and then you do another 10, and before you know it, you're in this sort of disciplined state with it. And yeah, but that was all come about just from consistency, more than it is just about a sort of grinding mentality. Because what I'm getting at is the grind mentality is very fleeting. It relies on motivation rather than discipline. And yeah, I mean, you shouldn't. It's weird, but I almost think you shouldn't feel bad about holding yourself back slightly. Like at the gym, often if I'll go gym before uni, there'll be times when I've barely done anything, like there's that exhausting. Like I'm not sweating or anything. I've only been there an hour, but sometimes I'll be like, right, that's enough for today. I've got to get on to uni. Because I've got to save some of my energy for other things. And in the short term, that's sad, because that's annoying, because I would get I'll get more results out of that particular gym session if I push harder. But what's one particular gym session if you're going every day? So I'm not encouraging people to be lazy as such, but I'm just encouraging people to focus on the cumulative effective things rather than just grinding it out, and then just not getting anywhere because you haven't been realistic about the goals you set for yourself. To use another example, I talked about this in my other video. Like, I've been reading Anna Karenina for about, I'm trying to think now, 6 months. I started it in the summer, I guess. So yeah, about 6 months I've been reading this book. And it's a fucking massive book. I mean, it's like 800 pages. I never read a book so big in my life. And yes, it's taken me ages, but I will finish it very soon. In the next probably 3 months, I'll have had it completely finished. And all I'm doing with that is just reading a page a day. And again, people would hear that and they'd be like, "What the fuck? What's the point in doing it at all if you're only reading a page a day?" But my reading is, so much better now, having done that. And slow though it is consistent. And that would be an enormous achievement when I finish reading that. Just from slow steps. I was never going to sit down and read that entire book in a month or 3 months. So, but it doesn't matter, because I'm gonna guess it eventually. And that'll be a huge achievement. So, yeah, focus on getting things as small as possible, that you can get consistent on it, basically.